So my wife and I were stuck together in the pandemic because of marriage, and and it was great because both of us, we have the same taste in content. Okay, we both love horror movies. Right? It's my favorite type of movie. It's my favorite type of movie because horror is very different from other movies. Right? It's the only type of movie where you pay good money to have a bad time. You're like, ye le mera paisa, gaad maar, come on, come on. Right? If the movie is any good, you should feel like that viral paragliding guy. You should be sitting in the theater going, my mother, chodo choice. It's the only type of movie where the better it is, the less you want to see of it. How insane is that? People are sitting in the theater going, fuck, बहुत बात picture है. देख ही नहीं सकता यार, देख ही नहीं सकता, देख ही नहीं सकता. It's also the only type of movie where you will notice that people are sitting in the theater reminding themselves about what they're currently watching. Right? They're sitting in the theater going, it's only a movie, 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 it's not real, it's only a movie. The only other type of movie I do this for is porn. I like the fact that few people laughed because they get it. They're like, हाँ, 10 minutes के ऊपर ही है यार, ये क्या चल रहा है? You put what where? Are you serious? इतना बड़ा? हो ही ना क्या? You know, like, have you ever heard someone telling you a horror story? It's a very fascinating experience. Because when people tell you a horror story, this is the only type of story where they have to prove that this really happened. And they prove it by showing you a reaction happening on their body. They're like, tik tik, सच में हुआ, tik tik, मेरा रोंगटे खड़े हो रहे, रोंगटे tik 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 tik. हाथ के बाल का national anthem हो रहा है, tik tik tik. You don't do this for any other type of story. Have you ever heard someone telling you a romantic story and then going, सच में हुआ, देख देख खड़ा हो रहा है, देख देख, सच में, अरे बहुत, and then you go, इतना बड़ा कैसे हो सकता है? It's fascinating. It's so fascinating. Like I'm a big fan of horror, and like I've realized there's a trend nowadays. So here's what it is, okay? Like, just by round of applause, how many of you have noticed that a lot of new horror movies, right, nowadays, they have the ghosts are either women or children. By round of applause, how many of you have noticed? Yeah? Like The Nun, The Conjuring, Raz, all of that, right? This is women or children. And I thought about it. I was like, why is it that it's always women or children? And then I realized what it was. It's because there is nothing that a man can do as a ghost that he can't do as a man. If a man is out to kill you, that's not a horror film, that's a thriller. We have a separate category of movies about man about to kill you. That's crazy, right? Now, okay, ladies in the audience, just tell me by round of applause, okay, which is a scarier situation? Okay, is it scarier that a dude could walk through walls and which is why he's in your house? Or he couldn't walk through walls, but he's still in your house? Much scarier situation, right? He's just standing over your bed going, Madam, OTP de to marna hai. There is another very popular theory for ghosts, okay? I'll tell you what it is. And by round of applause, tell me how many of you have heard it, okay? The theory is this. Ghosts exist because they have unfinished business. Unfinished business. Right? Now, good theory, but small loophole. If this was true, then companies would be setting unrealistic targets for their employees and then murdering them. These poor employees would spend the rest of their afterlife meeting targets. Why would capitalism let go of free labor? Why the fuck? They would just run the company 24/7, right? दिन में जिंदा employees, रात में मुर्दा employees. Best customer service on Amavasya ki raat. Dude, as a horror fan, I have only one complaint. Okay, I'll tell you what that complaint is. As a horror fan, I realized that most mainstream Bollywood actors don't do horror films. Right? They don't do it. And I've realized why. Okay, it's because traditionally, the Bollywood hero has been an ultra macho person. Right? He eats bullets and he shits gunpowder. Right? In a horror film, this guy has to be scared. How the fuck will he be scared? He's not taught that in hero school. At best, he can be sad. भूत को देख के मेरे आँख से ग्लिसरीन गिरने लगा. भाई कट आपके फेस पे डर दिखना चाहिए भाई. डर फियर खौफ वगैरह. And भाई just confused. डायरेक्टर, मैं डरता नहीं, डराता हूँ. और सेकंड हाफ में मैं हवेली में शर्टलेस घूमूंगा. Anytime they have like a mainstream actor in these movies, it's the same plot. You know the plot. We'll just do fast revision. Okay? Plot is this. Guy and girl go to a haunted house. Right? It's a haveli of some kind. And the girl starts seeing the ghost. Right? She's terrified. She comes to the strong, rational hero. And she's like, सुनो, मैंने भूत देखा, मैं बहुत डर चुकी हूँ, मैंने भूत देखा. मैंने भूत. Right? And the hero says, चलो सेक्स करते हैं. And this poor lady spends the rest of the movie being traumatized, half by this ghost and half by this relationship. Until she's completely possessed, right? Because possession is a very big thing in horror movies. Because in a horror movie, ghost karta nahi, karwata hai. Right? So she's completely possessed. Now she's got her fingers around the hero's neck. She's squeezing. And that's when the hero goes, bahut kinky ho gaya. That's when he realizes something is wrong. So he calls a tantric, they do a havan and the ghost is removed. Right? And you're sitting in the theater just looking at all of this going like, fuck. This whole movie could have been avoided if he had just listened to her in the first scene. But this wouldn't have happened. क्योंकि भाई सुनता नहीं, सुनाता है. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kautuk Srivastava. I'm going to call Sumukhi.